So, the Fast and Furious franchise just keeps blowing our minds, right? Those jaw-dropping stunts, the twisty-turny plots, they've got it all. And when it comes to heists, these guys are like the masters of the universe. They're pulling off history's greatest capers, all while driving those turbocharged speed demons. But here's the kicker. Family is their secret sauce. Not just blood relatives, though. Chosen family matters, too. Now, hold on to your seatbelt, because there's this one movie that's got it all, but it's missing some of the OG family members. Yep, I'm talking about the Fast and Furious presence, Hobbs and Shaw. And don't get me wrong, I love the fam, but we're all craving another wild ride with Hobbs, Dwayne Johnson, and Shaw, Jason Statham. Buckle up, my friend. Nobody can beat the vibe that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Jason Statham have when they're together. They're always arguing, but in a fun way, and they tackle problems totally differently. That's what makes them such a cool duo. They teamed up to take down this tough guy, Brixton Lore, played by Idris Elba, and it was awesome. They should totally team up again. The crazy action stuff they do is just icing on the cake while they're out saving the world. Since the main Fast and Furious movies are wrapping up, making a Hobbs and Shaw 2 would be a great way to keep the story going. So, if you didn't catch Hobbs and Shaw, here's the scoop. Hobbs, the cop, and Shaw, the wild card, have to team up to stop this super strong cyborg dude, Brixton Lore, who's trying to unleash a killer virus. They join forces with Shaw's sis, Hattie, and it turns into this wild ride to save the world, packed with laughs. They're bashing through loads of baddies and have to outsmart Brixton, who's like a robot that learns their moves. In a massive showdown, Hobbs and Shaw realize they gotta pull together to beat this guy who's almost unbeatable. The best part of the movie is definitely when Hobbs and Shaw find out they gotta work together. They totally lose it, throwing insults like kids in a playground, almost getting into a fight. The way they can't stand each other is what makes it all so smooth. After a bunch of hilarious insults, they decide to drop the beef and team up. The whole enemies becoming buddies thing between Shaw and Hobbs is just perfect. They're stuck with each other, always snapping back and forth. Like that interrogation bit where they're making fun of Brixton while getting zapped, and then Hattie comes to the rescue. It's gold. The mix of laughs, their banter, and the action is spot on. Never too much. And hey, it worked. The movie made a whopping $761 million at the box office. Statham and Johnson just click in a way that's different from the rest of the Fast and Furious crew. Sure, Johnson and Vin Diesel are cool together, but they don't have that special something that Johnson and Statham do. Plus, Diesel and Johnson aren't exactly buddies off screen. But Shaw and Hobbs? They're like two puzzle pieces that fit together even though they're total opposites. Shaw's all about being slick and sneaky, while Hobbs is more about smashing through the front door. And that's what makes them such an awesome team. Hobbs and Shaw is special because it has a small, focused group of characters. Unlike the main Fast and Furious movies, which have a ton of characters and can get confusing. Each character in Hobbs and Shaw has their own story, but in the main movies, the storylines can get lost or rushed because there are so many. In Hobbs and Shaw, it's just about the two main characters and Shaw's sister, Hattie. This makes for a more personal, character-driven story, with just a few key players facing challenges together. The movie is also fun and doesn't take itself too seriously, which makes the crazy action scenes even more entertaining. In the Fast and Furious movies, there's a recurring theme centered around family. We get to see heartwarming memories that soften the tough exteriors of certain characters. For instance, when Deckard and Hattie were younger, they played together, even if it involved explosives. But that's not the main point. Similarly, Hobbs, who had distanced himself from his family to advance his career, eventually reconnects with them. This adds another layer to the family theme, as he makes amends and strengthens the bond he had lost. When Hobbs reconciles with his family, along with Deckard, it brings them closer together and shifts their perspectives. In the movie Hobbs and Shaw, Dame Helen Mirren plays Queenie, who is the mother of Deckard and Hattie. She's one of the standout characters in the franchise. Whenever she appears on screen, she completely steals the show, especially in Hobbs and Shaw. Despite being imprisoned, she's still at the top of the hierarchy. Everyone there knows not to underestimate her. She effortlessly has everyone wrapped around her finger. Queenie is the ultimate badass, and it's clear where her children get their toughness from. You know, there's always going to be some new bad guy to beat up. And when it comes to Statham and Johnson, you can bet it's going to be a good one. These guys don't just roll out of bed to tussle with fewer than 10 dudes each, unless they're busy duking it out with each other. Their back and forth is epic, and despite their obvious annoyance with each other, they've got a real friendship going. That's why the Hobbs and Shaw universe needs to keep going. They bring a flavor that the other movies just can't match. It's like our movie-loving souls can't survive without it.